Other interesting cultural news, you have Candace Owens punching back against the Daily Wire as well as a hit piece. Now, perhaps one of the biggest dramas was Candace Owens leaving the Daily Wire, or more accurately, being fired from the Daily Wire. There's a lot of speculation as to why she was. A lot of people saying it's because she becoming more critical when it comes to these company stances and the kind of the general consensus of the company personalities when it comes to the policies of Israel. You also had her saying Christ is King, which some people are interpreting as anti-Semitic when, I mean, biblically speaking, if you just read the dang Bible, that's a pretty common thing to be said. So some people are interpreting her vernacular in that way as a negative. And she was one of the most, I would say, she's one of the most successful and bombastic personalities of Daily Wire. You knew what she had to say. She's exceedingly articulate. I stumble half the words on the show sometimes, which then I have a theory. If you click that subscribe button, it very well may assist in my speaking ineptitudes. When I first started the show, I had no subscribers, and I stumbled over my words even more than a day, believe it or not. Spoke exceedingly fast, yes, faster than now. Truth be told, it was a little monotone, so I've been trying to switch it up a little bit and get a little bit more improvement day by day. And more subscribers I gained, better my speaking capabilities have gotten. Slowly but surely. So again, if you can click that button and tell your friends and maybe even tell your enemies, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, go over to Candace Owens on X Twitter. She actually posted a little video. It is about 8 minutes long, so a little heads up. And I was gonna say her voice is obviously better than mine. And I was gonna say, did mine out? Oh no, I am following. All right, she says enough is enough, and then let me pull this up here and make it full screen so you can hear her. Without too much further ado.
All right. I don't think I have done a live on Twitter or live on X rather in such a long time that you obviously have to know that this is something that is really upsetting me for me to be able to jump on here. I think I have, when I say tried to take the high road over the last couple of months to the point that it has given me a nosebleed, I have like nothing left here, and there is so much that I would like to say, and there is so much that I am fighting for my right to say. But today, I just feel like we crossed into another territory. Everyone can see what's happening. Everyone can at first see the public attacks on me over my, not like, I shouldn't even say it's a belief, just the truth that Christ is King, and something that I will never stop saying as a Christian, nothing that I will apologize for. But these attacks against me and my character have not stopped. And I think partially it's being driven by the fact that they have not been successful. It has not, there's obviously a very real attempt to smear and to libel me out of existence, to make my audience not want to follow me anymore. And there is an entire network working behind the scenes to make that happen. But a couple of days ago, my PR person received a tip from someone that a Daily Mail journalist who I had never heard of was asking weird questions about me, like basically working on a hit piece. Now, I want to be clear here. I do not at all blame the journalist. I don't blame the Daily Mail. I read the Daily Mail. I used to write op-eds for the Daily Mail. So I am not saying this as like, I'm here just the Daily Mail. I understand that when somebody is leaking stories and claiming to have an inside track or some inside knowledge about someone, it is tempting for a journalist to get involved. But to this level, I've just never seen anything just more fictitious and made up. And someone that is going to publish something or thinks that they have a story here when everything that they have learned has been wrong. So I'm going to read you the email that I received from this Daily Mail reporter, because we were like, what is this about? Like, actually, could you possibly be writing about that hasn't already been written about me leaving the Daily Wire? Well, here's what they wrote. I am currently writing a story focused on how Candace Owens came to leave the Daily Wire. Oh, okay. I wonder what or who is behind the story. Any response, either in an official statement or from sources close to Candace on the following information, would be greatly appreciated. We have heard from multiple sources that Candace's dismissal from the Daily Wire was in large part, quote unquote, financial. That her show just wasn't making the company enough money to justify continuing her employment. It is also claimed that she, quote unquote, blamed producers for her show's failures and that she refused to work with certain advertisers. We have also heard that senior management felt they had a moral obligation to terminate Candace's employment due to what has been described as her increased anti-Semitism and her conspiracy theories. Others have said that Candace was mean to and mistreated the junior staff members at the Daily Wire, including, ready guys, makeup artists and interns. One source described a scene in which Candace allegedly threw a canned drink at someone. Okay. This is sending me. I'm now throwing canned drinks at employees, mean to junior employees.
I mean, they don't clarify. Is that can open or closed? That makes all the difference in the world. And also, can't help but think, kind of reminds me of Project Veritas. Remember when they accused him of stealing a sandwich from a pregnant woman? Such a specific, ridiculous accusation. But nevertheless, go back to Candace.
Yelling at the makeup artist. Separately, what would Candace say to claims that she has been homophobic and anti-Semitic, particularly on her social media, and that she has peddled conspiracy theories? So here is what is clearly happening. The attacks on me over me not backing down on being a Christian are failing. So now we're just moving to full-on character mischaracterizations. I have worked in politics for now 8 years. If you think that if there is a single person that wishes to come forward and to say that I mistreated them, I welcome you to do it. I am the exact opposite human being. This is the most absurd thing that I've ever read in my entire life. The idea that I threw a canned drink at someone and it was fine and it just flew, like that employee didn't have a lawsuit that they could have, like, it is literally just invented in someone's head as part of a character attack on me. Now, I will tell you this, I am unbelievably close to my team at the Daily Wire. I am still close with my team at the Daily Wire. I still speak to my team at the Daily Wire. In fact, this past weekend, I was at the wedding of the most junior person at the Daily Wire, this young girl named Markella, who I absolutely love to work with every day. The makeup artist left the Daily Wire with me and is still working with me. Her name is Evelyn. My producer, my executive producer, I had the same one for the entire time that I was at Daily Wire. She is on maternity leave, and when I just called her and told her this, she was like, nobody contacted me for this story, and I am your executive producer. Like, who is planting the story, right? So I am not going to speculate because I don't need to speculate. I think everybody can see clearly what is happening here. Everybody knows what is going on here, and we're getting to the point where this is just torturous interference. This is basically like, I want to make it so that nobody will work with you, and since I know that Candace is a really hard worker, and I know that people actually love her, that her entire team loves her, we're going to pretend it's the opposite so that other people who might want to work with her go, maybe not. She's like throwing canned drinks at people. She just gets angry at makeup artists and just like throws a soda pop. She's just like, take this Coca-Cola. I don't like the way my lashes are done today. That is the actual phase that we are at now, in the absolute desperation to defame me and to tarnish my name, for the simple fact that I won't be apologizing for saying Christ is King. Christ is King, my friends. We're saying Merry Christmas again, and we're saying Christ is King, okay? So go on. Write the article. I responded fully and gave them proof and contacts of every single person on my team that they could speak to directly. Shockingly, they didn't contact not only my producer, my associate producer, the junior associate. Nobody that actually worked on my day-to-day team for 3 years was contacted. So who's leaking this? What do you guys think? Who do you guys think is leaking this story, suggesting that I would ever mistreat an employee ever? It's not in my DNA, okay? You guys know I'm my granddad's girl. Like, my grandfather was a janitor that swept floors. The concept of me treating someone badly that is an employee, I would rather die into myself than treat somebody badly. I have the opposite problem. I'm actually too nice sometimes. It's not easy for me, even when people, should be reprimanded. I usually pawn that task off to my husband because I don't like to do it. It makes me uncomfortable. I want people to be happy. It's why nobody ever leaves me. This is why the people that work with me have worked with me for years, like actual years, from my creative director to my assistant, who's now my manager. People stick around because I treat them well, and I take a lot of pride in that. So the worst part of this hit piece to me, forget the part about saying I'm anti-Semitic, racist, that's just like it's 2024. You got to catch them all. You're being called that every week. But to suggest that I would ever treat people badly, I'm not going to stand for that. I'm literally just not going to stand for that. So that's it. Christ is Lord. And I just wanted to update you guys on that. And like I said, I am fighting for my voice. And when my show comes back in a couple of weeks, I'm going to breathe some fire like a dragon, because to me, it's just time. And I, again, have tried to be so calm and take the high road and allow everybody to be speaking about me and speaking about my life for months, but this is just a bridge too far. Thanks, guys.
In fact check, she did say she would not stand for that. And in fact, for this video, she was, in fact, sitting. So, fact check, it is an inaccurate, very accurate statement. And it went pretty well. I got 1.7 million views, which is pretty darn good for her. You got 21,000 likes, which I don't know how much she plans on saying, considering most employers have you sign a non-disparagement clause or non-disparagement agreement. And this really the reason why you don't hear Tucker Carlson saying anything pejorative or negative about Fox News. Same thing with multiple media companies. And even some, just regular businesses as well. So scrolling down the comments, one of the first ones, and she continues actually, she says, from Alex Jones, Dennis Prager, to Charlie Kirk, to Tucker Carlson, to Andrew and Tristan Tate, to Charlamagne to God, I've worked with people all over the political spectrum. Never in my life have I been accused of mistreating staff. Ever. I invite any of all of these, any of all of these people to speak out about how I treat people. It is such disrespect to the legacy of my grandfather and every small job he had ever to suggest I would ever treat an employee badly because of their rank. Any person who has ever worked with me has my full permission to speak out. This is truly an outrage. I have prayed every night for the patience and discernment, and to remove the vengeance from my heart and for the ways in which I have been wronged. I will continue those prayers and ask others to pray for me as I try to simply move on in my life, unquote. I got 4.8 thousand likes and 277,000 views. Now, one of the first comments comes from Sarah Gonzalez. She says, quote, you have been unbelievably kind and gracious with all of our interactions, whether it was on your show or mine, or just seeing each other at an event. Anyone who knows you or has been around you knows the warmth you exude. We got your back, unquote, getting 310 likes. Pierceness says, Super Smear Merchants strike again, getting 234 likes. Otto Wolfgang says, Candace, you're dealing with the actual power structure now. They will all come with you with everything anything they can. This isn't a game, and they do not play fair. Do not be surprised and hit back just as hard. Talk to MJF and E. You need them just as much as they need you, unquote. Oh, Kanye, jeez Louise. I keep forgetting he changed his name, or he wants to be called Yee. Nevertheless, they did get 467 likes. Perhaps one of the most amusing profile names on X Twitter says, what's up, the purple whale? And profile picture is in fact of a whale. Says, quote, saying anything about Israel right now is like saying something about the the pandemic in June 2020, in 210 likes, which, again, I don't tune into her show daily, but I've seen a couple of her highlights, and it seemed to me she was mainly critiquing the policies of Israel, which, depending on what legislation passed in the United States, will soon become a crime. But nevertheless, I don't see her saying anything hateful. So that's just my anecdotal evidence of when I've tuned into Candace. You have Ian Crossan saying, you are an excellent human being, getting 110 likes. Tracy says, I watched the Daily Wire just for you, not the other guys. I would listen to their clips sometimes, but once you left, I wouldn't listen to any of them. You go do great reporting. They are definitely not as good as you are. You are taking the balls and reporting on the real issues that people need to hear. Getting 27 likes, which, now, I was trying to do some searching on my laptop. Fiscally speaking, I wonder how much profit the Daily Wire made off of Candace Owens, because she got a lot of traction in terms of there were a lot of eyeballs, watching her show, a lot of people tuning in and downloading. But that being said, she also had a very high salary, because, again, she's one of the most famous personalities or reporters out there, so she does command a high dollar value. I understand that. I wonder, at the end of the day, because, again, the Daily Wire, it's hard for them, like most of these companies or, businesses that have multiple personalities and multiple shows, when someone signs up for a membership, they don't necessarily know they're signing up just because of Candace or just because of Ben or Matt or Andrew Clavin or Brett Cooper or Michael Knowles. It's one of those things where I'm actually surprised they don't do this. I mean, that'd be a proven business idea when you have a subscription service. Say, like, who are you signing up for? And that way you can kind of directly correlate, well, hey, this personality is driving the most new subscriptions, maybe give them a bonus, or this would help justify their existence at the company. But nevertheless, let me know if you have any articles. I couldn't find anyone after a quick cursory search on using Brave. Yeah, let me know if you actually see any statistics. And again, it's also a public company, so there's not much they release. We just know the Daily Wire has said publicly that they have over 250 employees, and they also have over 1 million paid subscribers. So again, that's just the voluntary information that they've said throughout the years that we know about. See, scrolling down more and more. Loaded a Photoshop of Candace Owens being a pitcher for the Red Sox? Some sports balls team, and she's throwing a LaCroix, and then Ben Shapiro's standing in the outfield and he ducks and he misses it. It got 81 likes for that, I don't know, that meme from May, which, yeah, I mean, I don't know anyone who's actually thrown a soda at someone or a pop, depending on where you live in the U.S. You probably call it something different. Let's see here. Scrolling down more and more. Kobe Millionaire says, focus on truth. The truth will appear as vengeance to these people because it will be for them. Getting 65 likes. Let's see. Looks like a Ben Shapiro parody account. Says, what are you doing there? And it's Ben just standing at a window. Got 307 likes for that. I'm actually, let's see here. Rob Zilli says, or it's a quote from George Orwell, one of the best authors in history. Again, the daily reminder to read 1984 and Animal Farm by George Orwell. They're certainly not happy books, but they provide some valuable lessons and are kind of depressing when you see modern society being worse than the books in the dystopian worlds he created. But nevertheless, the quote from George Orwell is, quote, the further society drifts from the truth, the more it will hate those who speak it. Unquote. Getting 39 likes. Here. Oh, wait. Okay, we found one. A contrarian statement. So, Sensible Sam has a picture of a coffee mug, which, I mean, F- for marketing is just text, but nevertheless, it's a coffee mug. It says Candace Tears. It had 20 likes. Because, again, there are some people who are not fans of Candace. And let's see here. Is that the only contrarian statement thus far? Yes. Thus far. Yeah, that's a lot of people giving her prayers and support, saying she'll, come out up, she'll be proven right at the end. So yeah, I was gonna say in terms of not so much ratio, but more or less vindicated. And yeah, I mean, you also had an instance where she and the Daily Wire, specifically Ben Shapiro, were supposed to have a debate talking about the nuances, or I believe the subject of the debate was also going to be the Israel-Palestine Hamas conflict or war, whatever you want, whatever vernacular you choose. And it turns out that the Daily Wire is actually slapping her with a gag order, and it was a arbitration case, so it didn't go before like a judge and jury, but it's an instance where they all agreed. Basically, the arbitration, the outcome was you don't talk smack about each other. Simply said, so to say. Again, that's starting. If you click that subscribe button, it may very well help with my speaking up to, and I'd also greatly appreciate it. But it'll be interesting to see where Candace land at the end of the day. Where's her next place of employment? I mean, she has a volume of fans where I think she could build her own infrastructure if she so choose. But let me know. It's been one of the biggest dramas in terms of conservative media the past couple of months. And who are you rooting for? If you had to choose a side, as simplistic as that does sound, between the Daily Wire or Ben Shapiro as well as Candace Owens. As always, I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leave me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight,